Okay, so this game has officially ended when I put together the breakdown. We were going into game three. Now game three is wrapped up. So I added another slide, and I might go ahead and catch some other connections on the fly, right? So Chet Holmgren to face hometown team when the Thunder visit the T-Wolves in game three of the West Finals. All right. So he's out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And let's look at the result of this game. He loses. Him and the Thunder lose by 42 points, as you see right here. 143 to 101. So a blowout against his hometown team, the T-Wolves. He scores 10 points, I see right here. Jalen Williams, 13. Gilgeous Alexander, 14. AJ Mitchell, 14. For the T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards has 30 points. Julius Randle, 24. Okay, so a 42-point loss in game three, and this was Saturday. And tomorrow will be game four. So OKC leads 2-1. And over in the East, the Pacers are up 2-0 against the Knicks. So the winner of these two series will meet in the NBA Finals, okay? So let's get back over here. Okay? So I mentioned Chet Holmgren is a Minneapolis native. 7'1" forward. And he helped OKC take a 2-0 lead over the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, and that was on Thursday with the 118-103 victory. Okay? And that was in game 2, right? The T-Wolves weren't as good as they are now during Holmgren's childhood. They missed the playoffs every year from 2005 to 2017. Growing up, Minnesota was never in the playoffs, so that atmosphere was never really there in the city, he said. So I'm sure it's insane right now. Holmgren was a local celebrity as one of the nation's top school prospects. His high school coach, Lance Johnson, said it got crazy at times. We would go on road trips and high school, and gyms would be packed, he said. There were games where we had to sneak him out the back doors. We pulled up in buses, and then were people waiting to shake his hand. I feel like there's some misprints in there, but yeah, so let me show you this breakdown here. And again, they end up losing this game 3 against the Wolves, his hometown team, okay? The T-Wolves. Look at this. They score 103 points in the loss. 101? Did I say 103? I don't know. They score 101 points in the loss. Oklahoma City Thunder equals 101. Check that out right there. Okay, and that's in the reverse reduction cipher. You get a 101 match with the points scored and their team name. I said he's out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he faces his hometown team in this series. Minnesota, 52 like Chet Holmgren, and that's that same reverse reduction cipher right there. Now keep an eye on those 52s. He does have 7 on his jersey in case we catch anything on the fly, okay? But Chet Holmgren 52, Minnesota 52, Oklahoma City 52, OKC Thunder 52, just OKC 52. You see that right there? Now that's undeniable just right there, don't you think? Right? Chet Holmgren, Minnesota, OKC, OKC Thunder, Oklahoma City all equal 52. So the team he plays for syncs up with his name. And Minnesota, the opponent and his hometown team, syncs up with his name. And this is all just with the language. Check that out. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And remember, this is what they're calling gematria. It's the alphabet and the language we speak. You see, going forwards in ordinal, reverse with the alphabet, reduction going forwards, and reverse reduction. And you see reduction, J, the 10th letter. Notice how these are all single digits. J would be 10, K 11, L 12, right? So you just add the double digits and reduce to a single digit. That's reduction. As obviously A through I, 1 through 9, already single digits. Same in reverse reduction. Q would be 10, P 11, O 12. So just reverse reduction with the alphabet. That's it with these 4 ciphers there, okay? And that, you can't really argue that 52 connection there. Look at the game was, again, the T-Wolves blow out the Thunder by 42 points in this game. The game is on May 24th. 5 plus 24 is 29. And that is game 3. Game 3 equals 29. OKC equals 29. See that? Oh, and he won his 4th straight state title for Minnehaha Academy in his final high school game that was in the same building as game 3. So I guess the T-Wolves play their home games there. It says West Finals right in the title. To face his hometown team when the Thunder visit the T-Wolves in Game 3 of the West Finals. Look at that. He's in the West Finals, and you get a 128 match with West Finals as Chet Holmgren equals 128. So he completely syncs up here, and I think that's why we get this character trending. And look how it all aligns right there. I mean, that's just too obvious, okay? Even with that add-on, remember I put this together before game 3. And, even to land on 101 points and Oklahoma City Thunder equals 101. And that is the 26th prime number. And 26 has been very active in these breakdowns lately, okay? But yeah, 101 is the 26th prime number. And there may be some 26s in here. But again, I just had to add this slide at the end as I put the breakdown together before the game. So I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. But look at all of that. And I thought this was something interesting to show you. Look at his birthday, May 1st. And it's not a coincidence that this game is in the same day or the same month as his birthday. This happens a lot, okay? So he's got the May 1st birthday, but look at May 1st, the 121st day of the year, and this game the day leaving 221. His birthday left 244 days in the year, 244. This game on the 144th day of the year. So you see the similarities in those numbers there, right? 244, 144, 121, 221, right? I just thought that was interesting to show you. And I mentioned right around his birthday, this game 23 days after his birthday, right? Oklahoma City equals 223. Like 23. Oklahoma City Thunder, excuse me. So 23 days after his birthday, Oklahoma City Thunder equals 223. And game 2, Thursday, was on the day leaving 223 days in the year. Again, undeniable because game 2 was on Thursday and game 3 on Saturday. So 223 with Thursday, game 2, 223 days remain. Oklahoma City Thunder equals 223. Game 3, 23 days after his birthday. And obviously, 223 is like 23, right? He scored 22 points in game 2 as the Thunder took a 2-0 lead. He's born in 2002. He also had 2 assists in game 2. Remember, Minnesota is the Twin Cities. Twin, like 2. This is a 7'1" forward. 71 is the 20th prime number. 20 is like 2. And he is considered a 7-foot player, and he's got 7 on his jersey, even though he's 7'1". Okay? So that's a lot of 2s as well. And again, that was in game 2. Even Timberwolves and Thunder both start with T, like 2, okay? He's got that 7 on his jersey and he plays for the Thunder. That makes me think of Kevin Durant. Even Kevin Durant, he wore 35 for the Thunder, but he has wore 7. He has wore 7 in his career. Now he's on the Suns here. He's averaging 26 points for the Suns. He's born on the 29th. And remember, Durant had the 7 when he went to Brooklyn, right? He had the 7, and he started off with the Thunder, but he had 35. Now, Kevin Durant is born on the 29th of September, 29th day of the 9th month, like 29. Okay, and OKC does equal 29, game 329. This game 524, 5 plus 24 is 29. So if we looked further with that number 7 connection, if we looked further into that, we would probably find more connections with KD, as again, he started off his NBA career in, well, it was Seattle, and then they turned OKC, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there would probably be some connections there, okay? And if I sound tired, excuse me. I've been working a lot, blah, right? And I will be going in here shortly again. But Check this out. So look at game 2. And remember, we're down to 4 teams to see who advances to the finals. But look at game 2, a 118-103 Thunder victory. The Thunder defeat the T-Wolves. They go up 2-0. Now it's 2-1. But 118-103 in game 2, add that up. That's 221. 221 total points in game 2. Game 3 was on the day leaving 221 days in the year. Amazing. Notice that was a 15-point victory in game 2 for the Thunder. And that was a big game for Chet Holmgren. So a 15-point victory, his birthday is the first day of the 5th month. 1-5, 15. And I just caught that on the fly as well. This is also interesting. Chet Holmgren, I remember, if you're into sports, if you're maybe a little bit older like I am, you think of Mike Holmgren, who was an NFL coach, right? He's born on the 15th of June. Notice how he has the Nick Sirianni birthday, and Nick Sirianni's trending and head coach for the Eagles. They got the same birthday. But again, Mike Holmgren, like Chet Holmgren, Chet Holmgren with the first day of the 5th month birthday. And remember, a 15-point victory in game 2. But that 15 with the last name Holmgren, and it connects to Mike Holmgren. And I don't see where it says they're related. But we know this is all with the language, right? And I think he's a former NFL head coach. I don't think he coaches no more. Don't quote me on that. But this is a fact with the birthday here. And how that connects with Nick Sirianni, who's trending with his contract extension with the same birthday. But yeah, that 15. Chet Holmgren even averaged 15 points on the dot this 2024-25 season to go with the 1-5, the first day of the 5th month birthday. He even averaged 2 assists on the season, so that's another 2. Remember, 22 points in game 2, 2 assists, 2-0 lead. 7'1", 71 the 20th prime number. Born in 2002, like 22. Again, Timberwolves and Thunder, TT, T like 2. So, I mean, somebody can argue that if they want, but I'm not going to be the one to argue with them, as these are facts. And remember, Game 4 will be tomorrow, Monday. Game 5, Wednesday. Okay? And then I just look at the article to see if anything else. Wow. He was the number 2 pick in the 2022 draft. That just really puts it over the top right there. The number 2 pick in the 2022 draft. That is amazing. He's averaging 2 blocks in the playoffs. Check that out. And it says he missed 50 games this season with a broken pelvic bone. But wow, drafted number 2 in the 2022 draft to go with all of those 22s, 22 points in game 2. So that's why we scanned the article. That was amazing there. pretty nice. Obviously there's going to be like some other connections, but wow. And don't forget they end up with the 42-point loss in game 3. Holmgren, I think they said, scored 10 points. And a 7-foot center, 7'1" to be exact, that 7 on his jersey. A connection with Kevin Durant, who played for OKC and then moved on and then put the number 7 on his jersey with Brooklyn. I think he wore 35 with Golden State, I think. And I know he's got 35 for the Suns, Kevin Durant. So yes, I had to bring that breakdown to you. I am extremely tired. Check out the last video that I have that hit very nice. The G-Eazy birthday, the rapper. I think they list him as a rapper. But check that It's Your Birthday breakdown on the fly on this same channel, the last video. His birthday was Saturday, the same day as this game. But go check out that breakdown. And that was May 24th with that birthday. Okay, Chet Holmgren. Him and the Thunder, they get blown out in game 3 against the T-Wolves, 143 to 101. And there's definitely a few more connections that are just like popping up in my head as I go. But I'm going to go ahead and end it at that. And game 4, they say, will be tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Game 4, a pivotal game. Will it be 3-1? With OKC needing 1 victory to advance to the finals, or will the T-Wolves tie it up at 2? So that's a big game. Shout out to y'all, okay? Until next time.